My friends, welcome to Talk Casual. We're broadcasting live here from the Fly Casual headquarters here in the Outer Rim. I have a very special guest tonight. We have all the way in
Northcote even.
Northcote now. Northcote. Okay, our Tasmanian friend, Andrew. Welcome, Andrew.
G'day, how's it going, Mars?
Good. Welcome. Thank you for joining us or joining myself this evening. So it's just to be us two tonight talking about BrisCon. Finally, yes, we're talking about BrisCon. Uh, Apologies for being late on this one. That's my fault. I was totally forgot about this after I came back, and then I went on holidays with the family, and I got told off by people. It's like, "Wow, when is the review coming up? When is the review coming up?" Here it is. All right. So you asked for it, you got it. So let's talk about BrisCon and what an event this was. Andrew, you went last year.
Yes.
You spooked how good it was. Explain, explain last year's event and lead up to this year's event.
Yeah, well, look, I think the good thing about it is it's a well-established Brisbane event. It's a true gaming convention in that sense, held on this sort of historic showgrounds, the more minor showgrounds of Mount Gravatt and inner Brisbane. It attracts all the sort of players. You've got lots of board game players there. You've got multiple gaming systems, including what looks like a few homegrown ones. There's everything from mechs to car wars to historic battles, lots of like Flames of War and
bold action and
bold action. Very well, very well supported there, including 40K and most of the Star Wars franchise. X-Wing is a surprising admission, but Big Legion support there as well. Yeah, just a very good event. Has a real sense of you being at a con, and yeah, good venue.
It was really interesting. Like it wasn't like a major one big shed. It was multiple sheds out in a showground area, and it wasn't like a shed. It was like one was a shed, one was like a historic kind of house or something like that with double story. One had an underground kind of area, and it was really interesting area to hold an actual mini event, which is really, yeah, first time I've kind of seen that kind of event happen. I've seen other events at big actual conventions, but this is totally different.
Yeah, it kind of felt like a whole bunch of scout halls stitched together. It was very much had a community kind of feel about it, and they were like 1940s type buildings, probably in that showgrounds, but yeah, very accessible still, and catering on site, and people running around and whopping each other on the head with swords outside.
Yeah,
so pretty interesting. Could even get a Dagwood dog from the
I know. It almost felt like you're at the Melbourne show, but with miniatures. Yeah. So it was really cool. So last year you went. How many players were last year?
About the same as this year. So got about a dozen. So I'm hosted through Phoenix Game from Bryant Wells, who basically runs the event. He runs an online store, and he basically supports the scene in Brisbane as well. Look, just there's a bunch of locals there. Who play, and a very friendly kind of local community. Had all that hallmarks of getting together and with some good people. There's quite a few. It's a family event in Brisbane. There's a couple of there's a father son, sort of older father, older son, and then there's a father, two sons. Very junior players with their dad.
And you got to play one of them, so.
Yeah, that's right. So we've got to play both of them, actually.
Oh, really?
So, it's kind of good. It kind of feels like a very healthy thing. It's there to play Armada. It's not there to kind of like very low ego, and just everyone was there just enjoying the game. And I think the fact that it's 4 games over 2 days makes it actually enjoyable. It is. We all kind of caught up on the Saturday night. We all had the energy to go out. We weren't like totally screwed over from, sort of playing hard, long games. It just felt a decent lunch break, and just 4 games over 2 days, very casual. It kind of nice event.
It was actually good for, like, I believe you made the suggestion of actually starting late on the Saturday for allowing people to come in on the Saturday morning. So for me, you're spruiking this event, how great it was, the atmosphere, the community, Armada community in Brisbane was really great, and the to start at 11 o'clock on Saturday allowed me to fly in not early, but early enough to get in there, play 2 games, then enjoy the Saturday, then play 2 games again and leave on Sunday, just booking down one night. It was really good for interstate players to actually come in and, spend that minimal hotel instead of usually what happens when you go to these events, you have to go on a Friday night because, it's the early start, 4 rounds, and then you have to stay on Saturday because you make the top 8 cut. But it was really nicely planned for Armada players.
I think so. I mean, there was people there who certainly knew how to play the game, and but then there were people who are just really really casual players who this is probably the one comp they play every year, still accessible for them, and so it didn't feel like a marathon. It just felt like a good community event, and well supported by Brighton as well in terms of prizes.
100%, 100%. And like just even he having a storefront at the event with all this Armada stuff. I actually bought a squadron pack, a set of A-wings because I could not find anything and he had like all this stock of Architons as well. Like it was just hen's tooth basically of Armada stock there. So it was really nicely done.
Yeah, there's also a bit of an interesting thing around it. There's a perpetual Starhawk trophy, which keeps getting moved around. So there's a bit of a comedic thing there around that. Originally owned by LTD. For those people who know him, he donated it, and then it's they went to Baden, to Sloan, and he's got it now, and it's doing the rounds. So you can go and play for the perpetual Starhawk trophy. It's a full-blown Starhawk in shrink wrap, but you get your name written on it that you were the winner for that year of BrisCon.
Yeah, it was funny. It was funny. Welcome, Clint and Mick. Welcome to tonight's stream. Let's go into the games itself. So we'll talk about the first round games, you and I, and then we'll talk about the results at the end. Actually, we went a bit backwards here, but I'll transition over now to our first games. So your first game was against Adam Huxley. He had an Imperial list.
Yeah, he played Sloan. He was one of our junior players. Their dad helped them with to put their list together, and the guys practice. There's kind of like full-on smiling assassins, young kids, but they certainly played a win. And we had a first game. Look, he committed his Sloan ball and kind of died on the front of my flat bubble. I don't think he'd seen Republic before, so it was kind of a bit nasty to his ships, to his squads. But that was a fairly easy intro for me, and so that was a
very nice,
very big score for me. And then for you, how did you go?
Yeah, I had a Rod. Rod was flying a Rebel. I can't remember what was on top of my head. I should know off the top of my head. Radis, that's it. Radis, that's right. I remember Radis now. It was a kind of a roundabout game. I basically killed. I can't remember what I killed, but I killed something. I tried to kill his CR. It was a 56-point win to me, so 6-5. But I almost killed his GR75. The only problem was I deployed spat the wrong side and thinking he was going to go one way, but I forgot the GR75s can kind of wiggle the other way and got away. So I could not kill his GR75. But it was a 6-5 win to me. I think I Lando killed a couple of things here and there, a couple of his squadrons. I think
Red's a pretty good player too. He went to the qualifiers at the CanCon as well. And did pretty well. I played against him there.
So what fleet were you playing? Sorry, I should say.
So I was flying, not surprisingly, Republic. The bandwagon I've been jumping on for a while. But I've started to, started with Bale. Went from Bale to Anakin, tried Anakin in all these different flavors and didn't really land on that. And I've just started really flying Tarkin. So flying Tarkin, had a Venator and the Acclimator. So the clams are the other ones that I've started to get back into. So I was trying a few different things. I was also trying a couple of funky cards just for fun. I had XX9s on my Ven, and I was trying to run the Acclimators as gunships, basically with gunnery team. Tiny little squad ball of 3 arcs, really there to try to stop myself getting monstered by bombers. and it was okay. It was reasonably compact, reasonably good to fly, but yeah, really not an optimal build, and sort of learned a lot from that. It was an okay build.
Yeah. So again, can't really see my list here, but I was flying my Illuminara list, as people would know. So I had a Venator tube with expert shield techs, ordnance expert, spat, thermal shields, external racks, linked turbo laser towers, and tranquility title, with a victory 1 with engine techs, ordnance experts, APTs, and racks. Then we got the Pelter with Lumi, clone, navigation officer, projection experts, parts resupply. Then the squadron was Soka, Axe, Kickback, and Anakin, of course, the Dirty Four. So coming at 397 points. Reason for this, I ran this one. I just wanted to run the victory. I had the card from Store Champs, I think it was, that it came in the kit, and it was a really nice card. So I thought, I want to run the victory. So this is a version of the victory, the Republic victory with the engine text. It's basically almost a mini demo, as I call it, and it hits like a brick, but also dies quickly.
So we should talk about the fact that the faction representation actually.
Oh yeah. Yep. So I'll go switch over to that now. So we'll go to the faction specifics here. So, yep, it is basically a breakdown of 4 each, except minus CIS. So we've got 4 Imperials, 4 Rebels, and 4 CIS. So we had 2 Lumis.
No, 4 GAR.
Sorry, 4 GARs. What did I say? CIS, did I?
Yeah.
All right. So, yes, missing CIS. We've got 4 Republic, 4 Rebels, and 4 Imperials. So, there was 2 Lumis, one Anakin.
No, 1 Tarkin and 1 Yularen.
Yularen, that's it. Sorry, you were. I always think you were playing Anakin for some weird reason.
Yeah, no, I'd totally given up on Anakin this time. I thought the Imperial Ball was pretty interesting too. We had, we had Pitt, we had
Sloan,
Gerard, was it?
Jerry?
Yeah, I just need to get the list up. Where is it? Didn't Lachlan fly Jerry? Didn't he?
No, there was the person that decided to come in as a ringer was playing Imperials.
He played Vader.
And I think he was playing Rebel, wasn't he?
Okay.
Lachlan was playing Rebels for the day.
Right.
He was playing. I think he was playing Radis. I think he was too. Yeah, he was playing Radis as well.
Sorry, I've just got the list coming up now.
Barry Russell was playing Imperials as well. He was playing Thrawn.
Yeah, that's right. So here we go. Sorry, so Gar, we had 2 Luminaras, 1 Yularen, 1 Tarkin.
Yep.
Rebels, 2 Radis, 1 Akbar, 1 Sato, and then Imperials, Piet, Sloane, Thrawn, Vader. So
nice mix.
Yeah. What's interesting is with Gar, no Bale, no Anakin. So it's interesting. Rebels, no Agate.
Yep. And there was no Onagers.
No. So just a really interesting kind of meta, and some good games too.
Yeah. So back to my first game. Actually, I remember now. I basically killed his squadron balls. I killed Lando, Shara, and Tycho. Basically, that was it. My Anakin decided to just blow up all the squadrons. I almost killed his GR75 and came over 6-5 on that first game there. So I remember that now.
Yeah.
That was my first game. So we go to round 2 now. And round 2, what do you have for round 2?
Let me just get up my.
You had Daniel.
Yeah, that's where I got completely spanked by Daniel. Well, it frightened the hell out of me actually. I had my Venator limped away on one hole, but he had a very nasty Akbar gun line, and he kept rolling outrageous doubles, and he was just shredding my ships. So I think he took out one of my acclimators. I took out 2 transports and 2 VCXs, and I think he got about a 20-point MOV on me. And I think I got out by the skin of my teeth. So I literally tried to charge through his gun line, and I was melting as all hell rained down upon me. I mean, it was horrible. It was it was one of those games where, in all honesty, I should have just run. But what the hell, we're there to play Armada, so I
Yeah.
charged the line and got spanked. But anyway, that was the second game.
As for me, I did exactly what you're supposed to do, run away. Actually, what I was against Mick. He had exactly Luminara. He had the exact mirror list to me, more on the squadron side compared to me. So he had the same Venator with Tranquility, of course, thermals. So that battle wasn't going to work out. So he deployed his Mercy mission ship, and I just decided to basically turn my fleet towards it and try to kill the Mercy mission. Of course, a Venator and a Victory cannot catch up to a Consular, ran off.
Yeah.
So we were basically 6-5 till the end. And then I basically killed off one of his Y-Wings just for the fun of it. So 10-point win to me.
Yeah.
That was the game. I'm like,
Yeah.
I had a squadron token left. I moved Anakin in and killed one of his Y-Wings.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
So that was my second round game.
6 rounds of running, eh? All right.
Yep, 6 rounds of running. At least that was my Saturday all done already.
Yeah.
So that was the 2 games on the Saturday. We decided to, of course, we went to the pub, had a couple of drinks, caught together with some of the Brisbane crew, and then we rocked up on Sunday and we had a third round. You had Mick for yourself.
Yeah, so that was a really interesting game. So that was basically angry triangles against each other. So yeah, basically Tarkin taking on Luminara, which was pretty much the perfect counter to Tarkin. But we had we basically Mick went first. Chose hyperspace assault, which was interesting. So I had basically one of my acclimators coming in. Which was interesting, but yeah, we basically had we were face to face, just basically blasting each other. It was a really lethal pass. Traded an acclimator each,
Nice.
but where he had complete air superiority though in terms of his fighter ball. So I had my 3 labouring the larks coming up against Anakin and friends and bombers, and so he basically shredded my Air Force, shredded an acclimator. I managed to get 1 acclimator and one Y-Wing, and then he also landed Mercy mission because I had clams trying to chase the 2 little the cruisers. So the cruisers were dancing all around, and it was it was just sort of like a joust. We went through each other and then kept going. And then Mick, I think he walked away with about a more 80-point MOV or something, pretty solid 7-4. It was, it was a good game, and just as always, Mick's cage is all hell, and it was just a really good trade. So I enjoyed that game a lot actually. But I kind of just sort of saw the weaknesses of my fleet in that game.
Yeah, I was against went back to another Republic fleet. So I was against Robert Russell. He was flying, I think it was he was the Admiral Yularen fleet. So I won the bid and I went second player. I think I went Asteroid Tactics on this one. I can't remember. Oh, it was actually Infested Fields, because that's where I got the most of the points out of the Infested Fields, because I claimed all the tokens. I believe he claimed 1 and I claimed the other 4. Of course, the Chompers did their work. And I think I killed both of his pelters and basically left the squadrons out of it. I can't remember totally a lot about this game, but this was my biggest win out of all the games. And I walked away with, I think, a 7-4 out of that one. So it was an interesting match. I've never played against Yularen. I've always played it either against like a Plo Koon fleet or a Luminara fleet, Anakin, but never Plo Koon. And Plo Koon is not Plo Koon. Yularen. Sorry, Yularen is really, it's just really beefy when you're trying to, especially when he has arcs. He had arcs, so just forget about killing arcs. So it was a really nasty game, and I was really lucky to walk away with a 7-4 out of that one. Right, and then we get to the final round.
You versus me, mate. Yeah.
just to rub salt in the wound, we get each other.
Yeah.
So how did that?
Asteroid tactics. And boy, oh boy, did I totally screw that up last game of the tournament. And if you can play, if there is a worse way to play asteroid tactics, please tell me, because I think I just played it abysmally. Actually,
Yeah.
I literally, you just sat watch and watch me either collide into myself or throw my poor little arcs into the worms, and then it just was. You just had to sit back and watch me, kind of, just slowly tear pieces off myself. It was hilarious.
It's just hilarious. Like, okay, leave your arcs there in front of the chompers and
I
don't
just
move them.
completely forgot about the objective when I deployed the arcs, and then I did not have a squad command dialed up for them because I was intending to nav. I had this intention I was going to come through the asteroid field with 2 clams. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. And then, I just kept eating rocks on the way through, and basically almost all the damage done to my clams was self-inflicted on the way through. I mean, they all got through, but boy, oh boy, what a crazy way to play that objective.
But yeah, in the end of things, it was a stalemate. Like ships were limping, ships were hurting, but nothing really was in doubt. Like there was one contentious call that I forgot to place my spat. Again, would have made a difference. I don't know. Don't think so. So it was a bit of a maybe situation, maybe not, depending on the role. But in the end of things, nothing was destroyed apart from your squadrons by the chompers.
Yeah, mostly by the chompers, and then you coming in and just finishing them off. So 45 MOV, 3 dead arcs, pretty much that was the game. But
exactly.
But yeah, once again, I mean, it was sort of really interesting trying to basically flying those 3 ships together and just realizing it had this massive activation problem.
Yeah.
With you bearing down on them, and then how do I kind of scoot around, avoid the asteroids I was trying to fly them through, whilst not hitting each other and not blocking each other's bars. So it was a sort of a real lesson in, okay, going to have to get a hell of a lot better at flying these if I want to keep flying clams.
Yeah.
There's your mate Brian saying.
Yeah. Hey Brian. Yeah. Welcome. I was going to say that. Yeah, but I always find clams really hard because it's just like they don't have the greatest of movements. Like it's almost the same as a Venator as well. It's like driving a bus.
A Ven feels twice as maneuverable as a clam.
Yeah.
But I've played a couple of games with clams since, and I'm starting to get a sense of them. That even if you deploy them right and you've got your game plan sorted, you can get up to speed 2 and still fly them okay. I actually played a game, in fact, yesterday with some clams. I basically started at speed 2 and accelerated in the game and didn't fly off the board. So but it is a learning curve. They are if you just try to fly them as a gun platform at speed 1 and point them, you either get outflanked or you're basically out of the fight. So it's really, really interesting. But they are good value for money. And
100%. Like I after this event, I realized I should have taken my list with the clam and a consular with Mercy Mission. I realized that a fleet without Mercy Mission is just like I just couldn't get the points up, and I was getting 6/5s out of it. If I had Mercy Mission, it would have bumped me onto the next level, and I would have done a little bit better. So out of all that, yourself, you came 7th overall with 1 win and 3 losses. And I came 4th with 4 wins and 0 losses. I was the only player to win all day, but I came 4th because of my tournament points. And that's Armada.
Yeah, well, look, I think, and in fact, I noticed Mick's on there too as well. I think Mick was a bit unlucky in a way. I mean, he ended up 3rd. He got submarined, basically.
Yeah, by Rod.
He did beat the eventual winner, Baden. So he's the only guy who took out that. And I mean, you ran from him for 6 turns, probably killed his MOV, robbed him of 2nd. So
no, the thing is, Baden actually is him and Mick in the last round, I believe. And basically, Baden all they needed to do was like lose 6/5 or something like. Sorry, yes, 6/5, and he would have been fine. And I think even like a 7/4 or something like that. There was some
points, but
something like it was something like he could have lost either that he still lost 10-1 against them and still won or something ridiculous like that.
Mm.
So I don't think it's that bad because if you're looking at the points, Baden won the event, so congratulations to him. Let's go for the results itself. So Baden first placed with 33 tournament points, 3 wins and 1 loss. Rod France who got 27 points with 2 wins and 2 losses. Then, of course, Mick was third with 27 points with 3 wins and 1 loss. And I was fourth with 4 wins and 0 losses with 25 tournament points. So, yeah, he was basically, 6 points above everyone else, Baden.
Yeah.
So I believe, I think it was at that point in the 4th round, he could not be caught.
No, that's right. No, I'm not taking anything from Baden.
No.
Played a brilliant
absolutely.
But yeah, it was interesting just to see. I thought actually when you sort of go from 8th to 2nd, that was a pretty tight field. It was pretty good. Most people, there were a couple of big games, but big results, but generally pretty competitive.
Yeah,
and it's good fun.
Now the first round he did play against Lachlan and he 10-1 them, so that says something.
Yeah.
And then of course I think he basically 10-1 all the time, and then he last round he just lost. He basically a 9-2 I believe on the second round. And 10-1 again. So by the 4th round he didn't actually have to win the round to win. So I think he was in a good strong position there. Welcome Luke, welcome. So congrats to him. Let's go through his list right now. So I'll bring it up here. So the winner had Piet. So he had Imperial 2 with Admiral Piet, Captain Brunson, flight controllers, expanded hangar bays, early warning systems, point defense iron cannons, linked turbo laser towers. Then he had a Gazanti light cruiser with Captain Ida and TRC, of course. Then a Gazanti with Hondo, Comset, reserve hangar deck, and then squadrons, Darth Vader, Captain Jonas, Marek Steele, Colonel Jundin, Saber Squadron, and 3 TIE Interceptor squadrons coming in at 400 points. That is really interesting list, especially with Piet itself. You would look at that and would say that would be more of an Ozzel fleet itself. But he went with Piet instead, which is really interesting. Because, of course, Piet will allow you to do 2 dials at a time. So either he could squadron up with the Imperial or concentrate fire or nav, I presume. So it would have been interesting to see the actual list in action. But that was
didn't get to play.
No, but it was really interesting, especially Piet, as I said. And for me, I find the Sovereign title would be really good with Piet on Imperial 2. A Sovereign title allows you to change your tokens on ships. So basically, you feed any token to it, and you can change the token at the start of the round. And then, of course, you can basically do whatever command you want with Piet itself. So would be interesting if Piet was used for either like a nav or concentrate fire or a squadron. I would say more likely the squadron dial was used by the Imperial 2. Again, I'm not
plus expanded hangar bay.
Expanded hangar base.
There's a big alpha in there.
Yeah, exactly. You go when you got Darth Vader and Marek Steele in your list at the same time. You're going to alpha big time. So congrats to him. It was a job well done, especially again. It's not an Onega. It was an Imperial 2 with Captain Piet, Admiral Piet. So, job well done there. Let's go to a second place. So, Rods, I played Rod in my first game. So, as I said, he had, we were talking about Admiral Radis. So, he had an MC-75 armored cruiser, boarding troopers, electronic countermeasures, leading shots, external racks, XI-7s, turbolasers, and profundity title, with MC-30 Scout Frigate, Admiral Radis, Sokatano, Ordnance Experts, Early Warning Systems, Assault Proton Torpedoes, H9 Turbolasers, and Foresight title. Then he had a Corvette 90B with Overload Pulse, a GR-75 with Hondo, Hanako, and Comsnet, Lando, Shara, and Tycho as the squadrons, with Surprise Attack, Contested Outpost, and Salvage Run the objectives for 400 points.
So once again, that interesting one there with overload pulse to come in.
Yes. So basically, it would be a little
Yeah.
bit the Jenga. So I think MC30 dropped the profundity, then the profundity dropped the overload pulse. So he comes in over it. Now, this is a list made famous from Brian Becker himself from the command stack, and he run that. He actually ran that at Worlds. So basically, the Corvette goes first, hits with overload pulse, and
you need boarding troopers for the Ryan Becker version, which he doesn't have there.
yeah, I thought they did have it, didn't it? He had it on the profundity.
No.
Oh, that's right.
Does. He does. There it is.
Yeah.
It is at the top.
Yeah. So it comes in, overload pulses, makes all the tokens red, and then boarding troopers gets rid of them. So, a very nasty fleet flown in the right hands, and well deserved to be second place. So, any thoughts on that list there, Andrew?
Look, other than just the amount of space Radis, trying to defend against a Radis drop is very, very difficult.
Yeah.
I knew when I saw there were 2 Radises in there, I thought, okay. I'm gonna lose an acclimator to this. How will I never faced him in the tournament, but that was going to be hellish for me to try to.
That was my first round. I avoided. Lucky for me, my Venator was right at the front, and it is a tank. That's what the Luminara list that I created is called, the tank version. It's a Luminara tank. So
my intention would have been to have the Venator running loosely behind with the acclimators in front, force the drop onto the acclimator, and have the Venator turn nose in at it, and basically mean, okay, well, you can do your nasty or your shenanigans and take out an acclimator, but the Venator and the other acclimator is now going to come and hit your profundity for all it's worth.
Yeah, I remember he did drop. He did overload pulse me, and then I went Illuminara.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
It's like, oh right, Illuminara. Damn, I forgot about that. Because once overload pulse hits, and I didn't. Well, okay, you overload pulse me. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Illuminara. So
unless you save the brace.
Yeah. So that's the best thing about overload post against Illuminara. As long as you don't spend any tokens, wasn't spent by you, wasn't spent in that attack, you can get them back. So get one back. So
nice.
But right. That's why I didn't get really hit hard with the drop. As I said, Luminara kind of helps that problem there. But if you do encounter it, and of course he didn't realize that the Victory had engine techs on it, so he thought it was a slow speed to Victory as well. He was after the Victory as well, and it just ran off. It's engine teching.
Interesting choice. Oh no, it's just I could turn it off. Don't worry. Yep. And early warning system on the MC30 as well.
Yeah.
Instead of maybe advanced projectors or.
Yeah. Again, it's that's the thing about these metas, that you go to different places, you find different ways of flying things or different things of viewing things. I think I knew he did wanted to change a couple of things there after having a couple of drinks with him. So he was thinking of other things that he wanted to fly, and I think he wanted a bid as well on top of that. But yeah, nicely flown by Rod to get second place. As I said, he did submarine at the end there and overplaced Mick, which
the other thing I like about that is Lando thrown in with Shara and Tycho as well.
Oh yeah,
Lando he's hell. I mean, he's an amazing finisher, and in fact, there, you could basically survive the drop. You could survive, the pulse, and you could still be thinking, I'm going to get away. I've made all the ship attacks, and then Lando comes in right at the end, rains in your parade, and blows you up.
Because one of my objectives was asteroid tactics, and I was. And I did show my objectives to him, and thank God he didn't choose asteroid tactics, because I was going to go, Lando's just going to have a field day with me. So lucky, very lucky. I got to kill his Lando with my Anakin. That was my first objective, just blast Lando out.
Yeah.
So So yeah, that was third place, and finally in fourth place was Mick. Mick was flying his Luminara list. So his Luminara was a Venator 2 with a Luminara Unduli, Expert Shield Techs, Flight Controllers, Flag Bridge, Thermal Shields, DBY 827 Heavy Turbo Lasers, and the Tranquility title with Mercy Mission on board. Then the Acclimator one with Expert Shield Techs, Boarding Troopers, External Racks, DBY 827 Heavy Turbo Lasers, and then two contours, one with Radiant 7 Comset and one with Hondo Hanaka. Squadrons were Ahsoka Tano, Anakin Skywalker, and 4 Y-Wing squadrons, 87 points, coming in at 398. So yeah, it's very different take of Luminara for me. It's more squadron focused and didn't have that Pelter feeding shields to Venator, but he did have Mercy Mission on there.
So it's sort of designed as a salvo machine to some extent.
Exactly.
With for both the Clam and the Venator, the ability to continually recycle and punish you every time you shoot it.
Yeah. Especially for Luminara, just getting that token back, getting that salvo back as well.
But the interesting thing too, and it is actually how effective Y-Wings are with flight controllers. You sort of think, oh, it's a few bombers with just a couple of aces, but Y-Wings are such a consistent inflictor of damage. And yeah, if you're giving it two blues and a black, they happily come along and hunt with everything else, and then obviously they can flip to bombing at the end as well. So it's a really it's a sort of kind of comes into at both levels, and I think that's what I did when I flew up against Mick's fleet. He shredded those arcs like they didn't even turn up. They were gone. They were toast, and it's just I've subsequently beefed up my squad ball after playing my list because 45 points of squads up against this just got smashed.
Yeah, I was again worried about his squadron ball as well, so I kept my squadron away and he kept his squadron ball away. As I said, I attacked right at the end because I was again. I had Anakin, but he had Anakin too, so he could Anakin. So it's just especially when you come against a mirror match, you're always going to get that. Well, everything that works for me works for him as well. So
well, and of course the other thing, that what Anakin and Ahsoka do in that list is they just basically happily take your shots and use their tokens to refresh the ship. So
exactly.
So that's the extra benefit there.
I as I said, I knew what it could do, and I know what it does quite well. So that's why I kept away and tried to kill his Mercy Mission ship. But it was again,
that Acclimator is basically a fire ship, right? So it comes in with boarding troopers and racks, and it's at 81 points.
Whatever the Venator doesn't finish off, the Clam will come and finish it.
It'll just come in and just chew you up.
Exactly.
Which is basically what happened. It came in and destroyed my Clam, but then I was able to hyperspace assault in and kill another one back.
Nice.
But it was brutal when it hit. Absolutely brutal.
Awesome. All right, that was BrisCon. Again, I highly enjoyed the event. As I said, and as Andrew, as you said, mate, it was great to see the Brisbane locals there. A great community. Even Rod took us to the airport, drove us to the airport. He was such a great guy. He's a small car. They're all crammed in there, But great community, great people, great time, great prizes. I couldn't say anything more about the event itself, and I was glad I actually took the time to go, and because nothing was on the line. There was no world's ticket prize. It was just a fun event to come.
Yeah, I can kind of chill. Like he didn't leave at the end of the day like a completely spent human. I think the balance is right between it being getting together, playing Armada. It's a social event, and kudos to Bryant for being really flexible with that and keeping everything pretty chill. And like I said, the price support was good. Pretty much everywhere I walked away with stuff, whether it was some other stock from Phoenix Games or some Battle Kiwi stuff, and then there were the cards. And
that was nice. That Battle Kiwi stuff, very nice.
Yeah,
those trays, those wooden trays, very nice. I was very surprised to get those. So job well done, Brian. I had a blast, and I hope good things to come, and hopefully we'll talk about that very shortly now.
Yes.
Yep, that was it. As I said, if you do have a chance to go up to Brisbane, do so.
And you play in shorts, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. It was again, it was lovely weather in t-shirt. And it wasn't that warm as well either. It was just a nice weather to play Armada. And as I said, afterwards we caught up. We went to the social club. We went to the bowl, whatever the
local leagues club,
and we had drinks, and we caught up with the people there. So again, really nice. Yeah. All right, let's move on to. Let's go on with talking about Brisbane. Let's go into some breaking news. We have some off the presses. Our ISB agents have been working really hard to find out some intel, some straight off the HoloNet. So, Andrew, what have we heard?
Well, we pretty much think we know where the Australian Grand Tournament will be held and when it will be sort of held. Nice. So, yes, the ISB has been giving direct feeds to us today. So,
nice.
Started off with a bit of a hint there on Discord. People would have seen that there'd been a couple of kits or go out, and so basically Phoenix Games in Brisbane have landed the whole Grand Tournament, if you like, of all the kits. And then so I was just messaging Brian a bit earlier today to see what was happening, because when we were there at the end of the competition, there's talk about an event being run in September in Brisbane. That was a parting kind of information as we left BrisCon in May. And then off the back of that, basically, I think a couple of people got some news. So there was Dad Vader or something got the Legion one.
So it feels like there's 2 Legion events, and I believe just a singular for each other one. This is all subject to change. This is not a confirmation. As Brian says, it's shortlisted right now. There's no confirmation of events. This is just basically what we've heard at the moment. So there might be more. Again, we're not quite sure. So let's start from the start. I applied for a grand tournament. So has someone else. I don't want to name names here right now. And it looks like that right now there's only one grand tournament for Armada. We're talking for Armada. If you're for other game systems, I can't guarantee what information's been out. But this is what I do know. There is one grand tournament for Armada being basically shortlisted, and that is Brisbane run by Brian by Phoenix Game, who ran the BrisCon event. So again, nothing's confirmed, nothing has been set in stone, and dates are still very fluid at the present time because things have to be. He has to get an event, a location, Brian has given us the information that he has all 5 game systems as a GT status, shortlisted for GT status. So dates that he was given in September when we did leave in May can and might change due to other events. So
so just probably the thing for people to listening in, it's not a BrisCon event, so this isn't tied.
Exactly.
And in fact, some people I think and in fact Brian has said himself, he tried to get a BrisCon pack, and he also tried to get one for for other events. But what it looks like is AMG have gone for they've been attracted to the all game systems at one event, so it'll be decoupled and be its own separate event. And the dates that he mentioned today is leaning towards is late October, early November, but he's putting together a proposal back to AMG to get confirmation. So I guess they'll either agree to those dates, and if so, say, yep, you've got it. But as far as we know, unless anyone else has got some other intel out there, that's it for Australia. And if we think that's a bit lean, Germany got one event. So,
and it's sold out.
Yeah, already. So, if you look at the scheme of things, I mean, we'd be surprised if, we got 2 and Germany got 1. So I think we kind of think that this is it.
Especially with our track record with open world qualifiers, especially with New Zealand and Australia having under par numbers. I feel like that one is going to be it for us. Granted, I'm disappointed myself that I couldn't bring an event down to Melbourne. We were, we were promised a open world qualifier, and that got ripped from us. Again, nothing against Let's Play Games or anyone that ran CanCon. It was just a bit of a disappointment for our local members that we haven't had a nationals event for Armada in Melbourne. And of course, I wanted to make sure that we brought AGT to Melbourne so the locals could play. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the case. And if you want to play in a GT tournament, then most likely you'll have to go into Brisbane. But doesn't mean that we won't stop playing here in Melbourne. There'll be events here. There'll be certain other events, but not GT status, with plenty of prize support coming up. So don't worry. There'll be events in Melbourne, but if you want to play in a GT, start looking at Brisbane and just watch this space and watch the Facebook posts and socials, and hopefully we'll get some dates out. Bryant will get some dates out when he can.
So I think the other good thing about that too, if you think about Brisbane, so our friends across the ditch in New Zealand, I mean, basically New Zealand to Brisbane is a pretty well flown route.
Yeah.
So, that's not beyond the realms. Equally, our friends a bit further north in Singapore, if you're listening in, Brisbane could be a good place to bring everyone together. And it's all the systems, and it will be an event for all the systems. So all the other guys out there across the ditch who play, who basically maybe Armada's their second love and still want to come across and play Legion, well, start looking at your Air New Zealand flights across, for around that October, November timeframe, because I think this could be a really nice little hub, actually, in the way it connects into other parts. And commiseration to our friends in Perth, but equally, probably easier to get to Brisbane than Canberra. So,
true. As I said, I look forward to making that trip to Brisbane, and as I said, it's nothing's confirmed at the moment, as it's been shortlisted for Brisbane. So what I've been hearing from other GTs, other event organizers, it's usually that if you are shortlisted, you are almost that close to get that event. I think it's more of confirming dates, telling AMG what you can, where is, and location, so it can be posted up on the AMG website. But yes, so that is basically the news, the latest news as of today.
Hours old, even just dropped.
Hours, exactly, just dropped today. So as I said, congrats to Brian, and we look forward to heading up to Brisbane and playing some ships. So yeah, I think that is all for today, guys.
Trans-Tasman little...
Oh, yes, of course. Well, again, the Trans-Tasman, as I said, big thank you to you, Andrew, for supplying the Lego Luke Skywalker helmet. As always, a big contributor to the Trans-Tasman door prize. And believe me, it looks very nice. I thought, I should get one myself, because they're nice and neat and ready, nice to put up on the walls. As you can see, I've got my TIE Interceptor there, trying to find a place to put that one there, but they're nice and small and ready to go. And yes, I'm working on the cards right now, and I'll give you a sneak peek. Well, not the sneak peek of the cards themselves, but the commanders for this year will be Agate, it'll be Freedom Bot, it will be Jerry, and it will be I need Republic. What did I say for Republic? I've forgotten. Plo Koon. That's it. I had Plo Koon. I've got a Plo Koon picture set out. So these are the 4 commanders for Trans-Tasman this year. Hopefully we'll get those information sorted out very shortly.
There's a note from Bryant there about, yes, that's his view too on what needs to happen to get the GT locked in.
Yep. So, yep. As I said, what I know from my sources about applying for GTs from other communities around the world is that usually when you get that shortlisted, it is that basically that you have to it's confirming things and making sure that is correct for AMG to post there. So yes, back to Trans-Tasman. I will hopefully get the information out very shortly. As I said, we were looking for a maybe mid-July start, maybe end of July start. I want to make sure it's during the winter months because playing TTS is really good when you're inside, not when you're heating cold, and especially when you've got coming grand tournaments coming up as well. So definitely looking forward to that and getting that information out to you guys. All right. Anything else, Andrew, before we finish
about
off?
your local Melbourne news as well, just for the stream.
Yeah, okay. Of course. Thank God you're here, because I would have totally forgotten, and I would have gone ended the stream, gone, should have said that. Also, we do have a local tournament coming up on the 29th of June at Tez's Games. So it'll be your 400-point tournament as well. Again, they'll be on the 29th of June at 10 a.m. Make sure you get there early. As I said, new players are welcome. It is a casual event. There is no major prizes, but it'll be, if you are new, you'll get most of the prizes there, because we like to hand out the new stuff to the stuff to the new players. So
$10 entry fee again.
$10 entry, yeah, $10 entry. But again, $10 to play 3 rounds of Armada, worth it.
That's it.
And you get to play with the scum of the outer rim, and lots of salt. But that's it for tonight. As I said, I'll post that onto the show notes as well for the Facebook event if you need to see it. And that's in Melton, so at Tez's Games. So just as always, every bi-monthly we have an event, and this is our June event. So hope to see you there. All right, are we done, Andrew, now? We sure?
I think we are, man.
We're sure? Awesome. We're coming up to an hour, so, well, 5 minutes coming out, so I think we're done with here. There's no comments in the section. A big thanks to Bryant from Phoenix Games once more time. Just a big thank you for BrisCon. It was, as I said, Andrew spruiked it to me and said, you need to come. I was not disappointed. Wasn't disappointed at all with the event and the community there. And hopefully we'll get some information about the GTs and then, of course, Trans-Tasman. Okay, that's it for tonight, guys. Hope you enjoyed the stream. We'll be back with Armada action very shortly. A big thank you, Andrew, for joining us tonight and
it was fun.
Giving us your experiences of BrisCon. And remember, like, subscribe, follow us on the socials, and fly casual. See ya.